Love Live has had quite a year in 2022. There were a lot of announcements and a lot of new songs that came out, and I want to go over a handful of things that happened this year. I don't know if I'll do this every year, but I figured I'll give this year a shot. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with the Nijigaku anime. So the second season of the anime has brought us the first expansion to any Love Live group. This is the first time we got to see Shiriko, Mia, and Nanju in the anime. Of course, we already seen these girls before in the All-Stars game. And well, the introductions and the story of how they interacted with the girls in Nijigaku, let's say, was filled with drama. The second season of the All-Stars game had quite a bit of backlash on how they handle things. So we're definitely wondering, how will they handle the introduction of these girls into the anime? Will it be as controversial as the All-Star story? How different will the story be? Are people going to hate Nanju? Well, it turns out they did a pretty hard turn away from a lot of the drama that was involved in that. Nanju isn't quite the queen that she was in the story. She really isn't ruling with Iron Fist. She's more or less quite a toned-down version of her in the All-Star story. Is this change for the better? To me, kinda yes, kinda no. So first, Nanju's character was impactful because how forceful and driven she was. That what made her unique. And yes, she was a jerk. But that's also what made her different from the rest. She was an actual rival, not like, oh, I'm your friend kind of rival, which can be kind of lame in some ways. The All-Stars Nanju had that flair to her, and now it's kind of lost. Now, with the betrayal of some members that they had in All-Star stories, yeah, that wasn't great. Ayaka's motivations always didn't make much sense to me, so I'm glad that was taken out. Though, the challenges and controversy the All-Star story brought made it more compelling of a story, even though there were a lot of plot holes. But that kind of had more stakes to it, and the more important moments really shined more. For example, I still remember the moments where Kasumi cried out. Moments like those hit much harder than what this anime had. As for the anime, there are some elements that of course were nice. The first half was more focused on the units of Nijigaku, and it was great to see them actually being recognized in the anime. Sub-units were never a thing in the previous animes. Most, they would just kind of get like a nod or have an episode where they all group up, but that was it. In season 2 of the Nijigaku anime, we had the girls make units, and then they each gave us a song and they performed it. Of course, minus Rebirth, which those girls each got solo songs. The second half, of course, is more focused on the newcomers, where each girl got a solo song, as I mentioned before. Shiriko was my favorite, as we got to see her older sister Karuko and how she was an idol. Seeing young Shiriko was definitely a treat. There were 10 songs in this season, which is a bit less than season 1, and for some of the songs, they were great and some were alright. Future Parade is probably where I would put in the alright category. I say Stars We Chase is alright, and we also got to see Tokimeki Renners again, but it's tradition to see the first song in anime, so it was definitely nice to see that. I liked Infinity Are Wings, but I know a lot of people think this is the worst song in the anime, and I gotta disagree with that. Eternal Light was some nice synthesizers, and kind of got like the space-like feel, which I thought was kind of cool. Enjoy would be my favorite out of unit songs. It's happy and catchy, but I still don't like those outfits. Yume ga Bokura no Tayosa is the ending, and it kind of has that Sky Neo Map style in terms of the visuals, and I think it's a fun song to listen to. Colorful Dreams, Colorful Smiles is a pretty great song, and I liked how they managed to get all the 12 girls get a solo part in a song, which is hard when you have 12 girls. Of course, it's exhilarating, and the outfits look fluffy and fashionable. The top 2 songs from me, though, in the anime would be, of course, Utopia and Emotion, which I figured a lot of people would agree with that. Utopia hits hard and really captures the Nanju that we know from All Stars. She's loud and proud, and she takes no crap from others. It's a very thrilling MV, and it's just one of the best animations I see from Love Live, period. Emotion from Shiriko, it's a very nice niche. It's got a bit of a unique flavor, instrumentals, and style, and overall, I just really enjoyed the song. When the song picks up the tempo, it's so energetic, and I can't be helped but be enthralled by it. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the songs in the anime. The anime itself ends with Ayumu going to study abroad in London, which we'll pick that up later. as they announced the OVA for summer 2023. So we're gonna see what happens there. But until then, we actually do have the Nijion anime, which is a series of shorts. So it's definitely nice to be able to see that they're not done. But as for season 2, I think it was pretty good overall. There was no dumb garbage that was brought in from the also story, but it also wasn't as exciting of a story as well. So there's some pluses and minuses for that. I like seeing the units, which is nice, and the new solo songs were nice. And overall, I said I did enjoy it. And the fact that, well, we have more stuff coming in the future is always a great note. And then following the second season of Nijigaku, we got something right after that, and that would be the second season for Superstar. It's honestly pretty crazy there. We got 2 seasons of anime in 2022. Honestly, we kind of got a little spoiled by that, but it was definitely a fun time for that. As for the whole season itself, well, like I had some things that I like and some things that I didn't like. So let's start with the bad, and yes, there will be some spoilers. First, there were a lot of moments that left me puzzled in the anime. So I remember when the first years went to train by themselves and then Kanon brought and wore a bear hoodie. Bro, what a dumb cheap thrill that the writers put in here. Like, you can't be seriously that dumb. Why would you wear a bear suit while going through a forest where there are bears and then try to surprise someone and then you just take it off because like, oh well, I totally forgot I had it on. Like, that was just, oh god. And then there was Sunnypaw, or Sunny Passion. They got done pretty dirty in the season. Sunnypaw barely got their song animated, and they got owned by a middle schooler. They were supposed to be like the best, but now they're just like best friends, and they just got obliterated by this middle schooler. They got floored by her. You saw her in the performance. But let's talk about the most egregious thing that really bugged me the most. And of course, that was the end of the season. We saw Leela beat Win with Sing, Shine, Smile. And honestly, I like that song. Should that song won over Edelstein? Or how you say it? I don't know. But for me personally, I like the song more. So I don't know if I'm going to argue that too much. But that's not what's important. But let's keep in mind on the actual competition itself. And the fact that there are a few things that were riding on this competition. We have Cuckoo and her ability to stay, because if she loses, she has to go back to Shanghai. And then we had Wien's ability to go attend a prestigious music academy. Of course, Leela won the semifinal, and they go to the final. And though every level of final has been so anticlimactic, we don't get to even see any of the competitors. It's supposed to be the highest level of competition. Why is the semifinal the highest level of competition? It feels like, I don't know. Not that important again, but I wish there was, something more there. The song they performed was Mirai no Oto ga Kikoeru, and I'm honestly surprised that I can remember the name of that song because, dang, that song is not that interesting for me. Some people like it, but it was pretty underwhelming. But back to the more important part. So we had Wien, and she lost. And after she lost, she was kind of stalking Leela. And then she reveals that her parents want her to learn from Leela. And that Kano has been invited to the school that Wien wanted to go. So I could see Wien being a little jealous about that. And a lot of the episode focused on whether Kano should actually go to that school or not. It's very prestigious and it could be really good for her. And initially Kano decided that Leela is more important to her and she did not really consider that offer. As while that would be a great opportunity and all, she enjoys being with her friends more. But the fact that she kind of disregarded that offer kind of made Chisato feel not so great about it. So she definitely wanted to push Kano to really consider this opportunity because it's a great opportunity for her. And so of course the majority of the episode is about Kano actually weighing on the decision and the girl's trying to convince Kano to go. So she decides to go with that school after a long time. And then only for that offer to be rescinded? Okay, so we spent this whole episode about just figuring out if she should go to that school or not. And they spent a lot of time arguing for it. And then the offer just vanishes. Basically the moment she decides, yeah, I'm going to go anyways. So then what the heck was the whole point of the episode? Like, why? I mean, I guess it could happen in real life, but maybe we'll have to wait for season 3 for them to explain it, of course. But I'm failing to see Why did you waste our whole time for that episode? That whole episode now is useless to me because nothing important happened. I guess beyond seeing that Wen looks like she's going to Yuigaoka. But seriously, what was the point of that? Was this episode just a way to build tension and then make a big change to the group and then be like, lol, JK, ha ha ha, sucks. Ah! You know what, just forget it. I'm done complaining about that stupid ending. So one of the other issues is that I felt overall in the season, it was a little weak in terms of the songs. Of course, that's just a personal opinion, and I don't know if that's necessarily with a lot of other people, but there was definitely a lot of things that kind of felt pretty dang flat. So first and foremost, there was the opening, We Will. Well, it's like my least favorite opening ever. And I think that's kind of shared with a lot of other people as well. There was the finale song, that was definitely weak. Go Restart, I'd say it's kind of underwhelming. We have the Welcome to Boku no Sekai, which I think is a fine song. We have Wien's solo songs, which I think is off it. It's definitely different, but it definitely feels like more like an orchestral piece that just happens to have vocals on top of that, and not necessarily a song that belongs to the idol world. Though, songs are actually pretty decent, so I guess I won't complain too much about that. There's Chance Say Chance Way, which I think is a fine song, but, you know, I'd rather just listen to something like My Tonight. Of course, that's my opinion, but I just find that one a little more interesting, and I feel like they kind of fill a similar niche. And then we have Vitamin Summer, which that's actually a fun song, and Low with a Lot of Energy. I'm not complaining about that song, that one's actually pretty good. And then Sing, Shine, Smile, which it's a mellow and enjoyable experience. I like that song actually a lot as well. And then there was the big winner for me, which was the ending theme, Okakeru Yume no Sakide. That one is a very unique ending theme, and this definitely really carries this season in terms of songs for me. It's a thrilling song with great animated moments like the strawberry feeding, and of course the girls wearing each other's hairstyles. Honestly, it's really fun to watch the ending theme. I watch it a lot. And then there's of course, the Leila no Uta, which, meh. It's a little bit weaker than season 1 for me. They're not like usually big winners for me anyways for Leila no Uta, but there were some decent ones out there. The one that I enjoyed the most was the Parade wa Itsumo, which was by Mei and Shiki. So out of all those songs, only the ending theme as well as Sing, Shine, Smile are the ones that regularly affects what I listen to daily. And that's usually a lot less than what other anime seasons do. But seriously though, Okakeru Yume no Sakide is a banger. As for the positive, there are definitely a few things that this anime did pretty well. First, the addition of new girls. Yes, it's not the first one to do it, that was Nijigaku. But this time we got to see the girls move on to the next year. Not like a revolutionary concept, but I'm glad that we got to actually see that happen in Love Live. The first years become the senpais. They move on to the second year, and now we got new underclassmen. That's something I wanted for Love Live for quite some time, and we've actually finally got that, so that was pretty cool. And of course, introduced Kinako, Mei, Shiki, and Natsumi. I don't really care about Natsumi, to be honest, but I really came to like Mei. And I also am... Kinako and Shiki, I think, are pretty nice additions. The Kuku and Sumire episode was definitely a huge bright spot for me. The conflict was well portrayed, and it honestly got me to appreciate Sumire a lot more. She is not the same girl that I remember for season 1, where she was always about her. Her sacrifice was noble, and to get all the other girls to kind of focus on her and attack her, that I thought was honestly pretty nice to see. Sumire played the villain role, and she tried to do that just because she wanted to save her friend Kuku. And as someone who likes the game, I really did like the You Are Hasuki Ren episode, where we got to see Ren be more than just the innocent student council president. I definitely relate to the struggles that she had in that episode. So now, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy Watch Season 2. I know I spent more time complaining than praising, but, you know, there's a lot of things that I feel like I don't really need to praise because they do a lot of things right. Superstar overall has been a breath of fresh air for me in a lot of ways, and I really do like the fact that we get to see the girls continue to grow, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next season, where we will have the girls move up one more time, and then, of course, we'll have to deal with graduation. But the main, of course, thing that I didn't really like was that dumb ending. And maybe the next season will fix it. But honestly, it's still stuck in my head and I'm not a fan of it. But overall, I did appreciate this season a lot, but I don't definitely think it was the best season overall for Love Live. Now, let's move on from the anime and let's talk about All-Stars. So this year has been interesting. Of course, the big news was the change of developers. How much has that affected the game? Well, the biggest impact that I see is that we only get one new MV per chapter with the occasional 2D song coming in. Honestly, I find it pretty dang lame, and I was hoping we would get a lot more faster, but I don't know. The fact that we do only one per chapter feels incredibly slow and lame. Though overall, the qualities of the MV are pretty good, so it's not all awful. Though I guess there was the Ashiteru Banzai goof up, so but at least it looks nice. So I don't know. I'll still complain though. That won't stop. And then we have the new cards, which overall, I think it's improved overall from the change. The card arts look nice, though. Of course, there is some repetition in some of the themes. Though, of course, that's just gonna naturally happen as they have released so many cards. It's bound to come back, and once in a while they do similar themes. I'm not complaining too much as long as it doesn't get too egregious. And the way I see it, I think it's all overall kind of fine. The one thing I'm still kind of annoyed about is that Layla hasn't been added to the game, but now that they are talking about the other game, Squall Festival 2 is coming, I guess it seems like they'll never add it. Of course, this game's supposed to be focusing on Nijigaku, so I don't think we're ever going to get Layla at this point now. They're just going to focus on Squall Festival 2, and that's going to get all of that stuff for Layla. So that's a shame. I'm a little disappointed with All-Stars this year, but it could be worse. But speaking of Squall Festival 2, that game was also, of course, announced in 2022. Not a whole lot is known about this game at the moment, but they said it's going to have all the songs in this game. That game's going to be really big and take a lot of storage on your phone, so good luck with that. But they also did say you will be a part of the game, and it will also have all the 4 groups, which, yes, does include Layla. Though I haven't seen the first years being added, but of course we don't even know who they are yet, so I imagine they will probably rectify that later. And then, of course, we have that virtual idol project thing, which they've shown a little bit of stuff so far. Looks like we'll have 6 girls based on images we've seen, but we haven't seen the backs. I don't even know their names. And second, of course, we were given a poll to pick the name of the project. As for what the name will be, they still haven't announced. But what we do know is the series will have an application that will come out in April 2023, which will contain games, live streams, and so on. So that's kind of going to be the main hub for this group or project. So when that comes, that will be able to host a lot of things. Hopefully that will have an English version, but I don't know if it will. And that application will be releasing in April of 2023. Of course, more information will be revealed later. As for other news, we also know that they will have a mini debut album that will be releasing on March 29th of 2023 as well. There might be a few songs at most, probably. We also got to see Rina as a VTuber as well, which I figured is going to give him a chance to do the VTubing thing and see how that goes. And apply it to the virtual idols that we have. We also got the Squall Musical, which of course was announced and then of course occurred in December. It wasn't a concept I was expecting from Love Live, but I guess it makes sense for them to try it. So that's kind of interesting. They released one song already, and they also did announce that they're going to release more songs in the future. So I'll definitely look forward to what that will be. And of course, in terms of sad news, we had Tomoriru. She announced that she will retire from her role as Setsuna in April 2023 due to health reasons. And it's a shame that she feels the need to leave. I'm sure ultimately they could have figured something out. But again, it's her choice. She has her muscles kind of make it difficult for her to perform lives. And there isn't really a cure for that disease. So it looks like that she just probably feels that it's probably best for her not to do anymore, especially because of the lives, and she probably doesn't want to be left out of lives or be that one person sitting while everyone else isn't, and that kind of makes her feel probably awkward. But ultimately, I wish the best for her in the future, and of course, I'll be able to still listen to her sing and perform on anime, so I'll definitely look forward to that. The last thing I do want to talk about is the songs. We had 88 songs that were released in 2022, and that's not including other versions, other releases of songs. This is strictly new releases. And if you compare it to 2021, that had 90 songs, so it's a bit of a drop, but there are some quality songs in there. Sunny Passion got its first 2 full songs, and who knows if they'll get more. We also got the first Square musical song, Mikasen Dream, which I find quite decent. And of course, some of my personal favorites, well, we had Okakaru Yume no Sakire, Emotion, Utopia, Meimei Tantai Yohane, and Colorful Dreams, Colorful Smiles. I do want also some other songs that I came to like as well, and that will be Look at Me Now, Binetsu no Waltz, Nando Yatte Yasoku, Fashionista, Yume to Mirai de Mugainde, and Sabotage, which I wasn't expecting to like half of these songs when I first listened to them, but as I listen more over time, these have been songs that I have listened to pretty regularly. But overall, 2022 is a very memorable year. We had 2 anime seasons that experimented with increasing the size of the groups. We got new girls and new projects aplenty. This year is definitely kind of almost feel like the expansion year for the Love Live universe. It goes to show that Love Live is not dying anytime soon, and there's still plenty to come for a long time. Heck, Aqua is still releasing new songs. In fact, they literally got that song PV collaboration with Hatsune Miku. So yeah, they're not dead, and they're going to keep going. So overall, I would say Love Live is doing pretty well. Though one has to think, is Love Live spreading themselves too thin? The fact that even though Aqua is still going and doing lives, they're adding a lot more projects here. So this is getting pretty difficult to maintain and trying to keep track of all news. But I guess that's why you guys have me, right? So we'll see, and I'm sure they're going to keep expanding as long as it is profitable to do so. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and let me know how did you feel about Love Live in 2022. What did you like and what did you not like? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video soon.